Happy Monday. Mindfulness Monday. Miracle Monday. So, I had this thought the other day. I've been talking with Dee and stuff from a coaching point of view of how to travel through some things, life things, stressful things, etc. things in a different manner. I have tended to be a little hot and fiery and crazy and get too worked up about some things. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Partly it's who I am. I'm a person that is highly empathetic and, I don't know, very energetically involved in my life. Anyway, I feel things. I like animals a lot and very empathetic, really. And sometimes for me, it's kind of hard to distinguish between, if something's going on with somebody, whose stuff is whose, right? But I think that's like in life with your kids, with your spouse, with anybody, part of our emotional intelligence and discretion is about who's doing what stuff and when you need to work and when you need to pause and when you whatever. So we've been talking about stress with the team and how to manage stress, and his first thing is to smile and have humor. And I think that's a really good point. And so we were talking about how do I manage things that go on, like in the business, or go on with athletes, or with my own personal life, with my kids. I mean, shoot, I'm dealing with one of my kids is making a decision that it really kind of breaks my heart. But, how do you manage that stuff? The people thing, people interacting with people, it's tough. And anymore, we're super duper busy and we lose a little bit of our mindfulness and whatever. So, about humor and stuff. So, autocorrect is an asshole sometimes, and like awesome. I have misspelled awesome so many times that freaking now it just autocorrects to misspelled. I mean, what the heck is that about? But autocorrect, when I type the word F, the F-bomb, right, and it autocorrects it to duck. I mean, seriously, what the blankety blank blank. So anyway, I was thinking today, I have a lot on my plate right now, and I'm like, where are all of my ducks? And I was texting a friend and it autocorrected the F-bomb to duck. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to try, where are all my ducks? So, and again, talking with Dee on how to manage all the different things going on without completely bombarding him when he gets home with all of my chatter on working through stuff. So here's what I have done. I have decided that I am completely going to own calling my issues ducks. Like, I love them, and not that they're like problems, okay? Because really they aren't. They're just personal growth areas, and I have asked for it. I set out this year to do certain things, so I've been given many ducks to take care of in order to evolve to the next person. That's great. How do I manage that now? With minimal stress to everybody else around me, because I think that I'm stressing him out a little bit. D, he is a wonderful sport. He listens to things, but my reaction to stuff isn't how he rolls through life. So, I have this epically awesome journal, and I'm type A, I'm an engineer, but I'm also, I feel my world intensely. So I was jabbering with a friend, and I'm like, I'm just going to start writing my ducks down in this book. And so I've written down, I think like 5 different ducks that I don't know where they're at. They're all wandering around. They might be in the yard. I don't know if they're in the yard. But I'm writing them down. And so, the different voices in my head, the different aspects of life and stuff like that. Now we have a place to kind of put some things down and talk about the ducks in all these different manners, and maybe it just feels immediately like I have a little bit more control. I can't see the duck, all the ducks, but they're in my book now, and so that makes it kind of tangible. And so as an engineer and as how my mind rolls, I'm a problem solver. I need to feel like there is some sort of action going on with my things that I need to work through. And so in my handy landy little journal that I love, that I will not lie in, I will not misrepresent the truth, I won't fudge much, honesty goes in there. So I'm writing about my ducks, like I love them, and attempting to herd them all back together. And it's a wonderful place, and I'm finding that it just has instantly made me feel a lot better about stress management. And so I would encourage you that if you've got some ducks in your life that, you know, maybe you've been struggling with figuring out how to manage, maybe try the writing down of stuff somewhere. But this type of activity only works if you have like an existing habit in a journal that you've been using. So anyway, and I think it needs to be said that rock star people don't have all their ducks in a row. I think it's an expectation that someone set that's dumb. You know, yeah, we all have problems. If we're kind of working on them, that's great. But I don't think that perfection and having all your ducks in a row is useful. And it's kind of one of the things that, you know, we do is like, I feel like I'm not maybe a good enough mentor or a parent or spouse or whatever because I don't have all my ducks in a row. But, you know, if we just can work on managing our stuff and develop more emotional intelligence, and when some ducks come up, you know, write them down. There's some magic that goes on if you have this journal or whatever you do, to start working on the duck, find the duck, get the duck to come back. For me, writing it down and coming back to it and writing other things down, it's kind of like a process of working with faith and patience too, because, you know, maybe somebody else is going to help you go find that duck and bring the duck back. So for me, it may be a tangible way of helping with working with the duck. Lots of ducks. But kind of just in a more organic, faith-based way, because some of the times we don't need to work on problems. Sometimes we just need to identify the problem, understand what it's doing for us, where the feeling is coming from, and then, you know, maybe letting God work on it a little bit. You know, and you could even write that down in your handy-dandy magic journal. Hey, God, I need you to go find this duck for me, for reals, because this is an important duck, and I need the duck, and I don't know where the heck it's at. It's interesting when we're dealing with people in life and stuff like that, that sometimes you'll have a stray duck in your yard and it's somebody else's duck. You can take care of that duck. You don't need to shoo that duck away necessarily. You don't need to be mean to it. You need to try to minimize the amount of, you know, if it doesn't eat all your duck food, don't let it do that. You know, take care of it maybe. Maybe ask that person to go get their duck. Hey, I have a couple of your ducks. Can you come get your ducks, or can you drop off some feed so I'm not starving over here? You know, it's a super duper interesting idea, but when we're working with people or relationships and stuff like that, sometimes we feel like an extra duck in our yard is actually our duck. Like it's a problem we need to fix, and sometimes it's not. That makes it fun and interesting, but again, with the writing of it down, you know, in your handy dandy little magic journal, you know, maybe you write stuff down and you ask questions, and maybe the thought comes up that, hey, that's not your duck. Maybe you need to take care of the duck. Or maybe you need to ask the person to come get the duck. Or maybe you need to ask the person to feed the duck. Feed your ducks. Heck, I don't know. But anyway, super duper thought about, you know, dealing with your issues, other people's issues, the discernment and the navigating through that stuff can be kind of confusing and a bit much. However, writing stuff down, for me, writing stuff down is pretty powerful, and working through that, and then kind of with grace and grit, you know, everybody benefits, because usually if you have somebody's duck in your yard, that means that you're probably supposed to sort of take care of that or give that a little bit of guidance or give a little bit of your juju to the situation. So anyway, but don't let the duck overstay, or don't own it. Don't be like the cat lady that ends up with 50 cats. Don't do that. Mindfulness Monday. Where's all the ducks? Anyway, I hope that somebody found some of that entertaining. It's really helped me with kind of trying to manage my cray life. I wrote a blog about it. I'm going to do kind of like a 3 or 4 part series, so I'll put the link in the bottom with maybe a little more concise words. Anyway, going for a 12-mile run, hopefully soon. Hope you're having a great day, guys. Namaste.